We are back on the Madden 20 NCAA mod. I figure I switch things up just a little bit and bring you guys some college football as we're gearing up for Madden 21. And this will be kind of a mini-series featuring the Michigan Wolverines and my created quarterback Marquese Jackson. Now, if you're wondering why I'm running with Michigan, it's probably due to nostalgia, thinking about NCAA 14 and Denard Robinson on the cover. It might have something to do with that, but I just kind of went with a random team and Michigan was the first one that popped up. So here we go. Now, taking a look at Marquese Jackson, my created QB, he's got pretty much everything that you want in a quarterback in terms of size. He's 6'6", 210 pounds, is kind of lean, but he's definitely got the body type to pack on a little muscle and get ready for the next level. He's extremely fast with a 4.3 40 time unofficially, and he's a great arm talent. He can make all the throws and pretty much put the ball anywhere he wants on the field. My NFL comparison would have to be a more lean but more polished version of Cam Newton. And the reason he was lean coming into the season is because he played basketball for the Michigan team. Marquese was averaging 28-5 before the Wolverines season was cut short due to the pandemic, and he really used to get busy on the hardwood. I mean, taking ankles just like that, and then he was able to pretty much create his own bucket at will. Talk about a guy that could do it all. He had great court vision that allowed him to set up his teammates. Not really a high number of assist type of player, but he could definitely get it done when needed. And on top of all that, he was never afraid to get down and dirty with the bigs in the paint. At 6'6", he definitely had the size to compete, and that's what made him a surprisingly decent shot blocker. Just look at the athleticism and elevation to go up and block that shot. I think that speaks volumes overall for the type of competitor he is. But unfortunately, basketball season was canceled. As we head right back to the gridiron, Jackson drops back to pass and completes it to Peoples-Jones, and he'll take it all the way up to the 33-yard line for a first down. Next play on 1st and 10, the handoff goes to Wilson off the right side. He has blocking, and he'll be tackled after a pickup of 7 yards on the play. Next play, 2nd and 3. Jackson from the pocket finds a receiver wide open in the middle of the field, and that's a touchdown. So Tariq Black is able to give us the lead here temporarily. We're now tied 7 after the sim. Apparently our defense is still working on some early game jitters, but that's okay though because Marquese Jackson was looking pretty locked in on the last drive. Let's see if it continues, but not like that. That's not going to get it done. We end up losing yardage on the wide receiver screen, which brings up 2nd and long. Jackson under pressure finds Tariq Black across the middle, and he ends up picking up the first. Later in the drive on 2nd and medium, Jackson hits Wilson down the seam, and that's going to move us right inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. But check out the day that Jackson is having. He's 8 for 9 in passing for 101 yards. That's a pretty efficient day, of course, as he gets taken down for a sack here. And that'll bring up 3rd and long from the 22. Out of an empty set now, Jackson takes the snap and finds a wide open receiver. I believe that's actually the tight end that made the grab there. But that gives us 1st and goal from the 5. Charbonnet then gets the handoff looking for running room, but there is none on the play. And now we've got 2nd and goal. Jackson then takes the snap under center, scrambles out of the pocket looking to buy time. Pressure's closing and he fires a pass into the end zone and is caught by Peoples-Jones for the touchdown. On the next series, we get the ball on our own 3-yard line. Michigan comes out in a gun. Jackson takes a snap, hands it to Charbonnet, and he goes nowhere, immediately tackled right after the handoff. So we decide to switch things up on 2nd and 10. Jackson snaps it. Missouri sends the blitz, but Jackson makes him pay and connects with Collins downfield, and he is gone. 100 yards all the way to the house, and I think I did my math wrong on that, so let me check it. And in fact, it was a 97-yard touchdown to Collins, but either way, that caps off 3 straight touchdowns and 3 drives for the Wolverines. But picking up our next drive from midfield, Jackson snaps it out of an empty set, calls his own number, showcasing the speed, and takes it downfield for a pickup of 22 on the play. He hasn't really shown it so much this game, but as you just saw, Marquese Jackson has game-breaking speed. By the time the linebackers realized what happened, Jackson was already 20 yards downfield, and it was already too late. I might just have to come up with a nickname for him if he's going to be that effective in the running game for us. Better yet, if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and drop me a comment down below, and maybe I'll pick one and run with the best idea. But back to the gameplay though. After an 8-yard pickup by Charbonnet, we've now got 3rd and 2. Jackson drops back and hits Wilson on the angle route. He makes the grab and takes us all the way down to the 1.5-yard line. But then we get backed up due to a delay of game, which brings up 1st and goal from the 6. Jackson looking for the end zone is going to be picked off. What a huge missed opportunity there. At worst, we could have came away with 3 on that drive, but we end up turning the ball over. Luckily, Missouri doesn't make us pay for it, and we end up getting the ball right back on our next drive on 2nd and 6. Jackson breaks free on the option run and takes it down to the 33-yard line. And that makes almost 50 yards rushing on the day. We may have to work in some more design runs for Jackson, because whenever he touches it in the open field, he's breaking off huge chunks of yardage. And speaking of which, Charbonnet just had a really nice run right there for a pickup of 18. We're once again in the red zone as Jackson comes out in the gun with the 4-wide set, snaps it, Missouri blitzes both linebackers. Jackson takes a shot to the end zone and is caught by Tariq Black for another touchdown. Now, it should go without saying that I am playing with last year's roster, so some of you eagle-eyed NCAA fans may notice that some players aren't actually on the team anymore, such as Tariq Black, for example. And to my knowledge, there isn't an updated roster for this mod, or at least there wasn't one when I installed it, so I'm just going to keep the roster as is for the remainder of this series. Now, after the face mask penalty adds another 15 yards, Jackson snaps it from the gun looking to make a play, but instead is going to be sacked on the play, and that's going to knock us back to 2nd and 16 from the 37. Jackson then lines up in the gun with 3 wide, takes the snap, looking to fire a quick pass into Peoples-Jones, but the ball is knocked loose, and now Jackson has some work to do here on 3rd and long. Missouri showing press on the outside. Jackson sees it, takes the snap out of the gun and fires a deep ball downfield and is caught by Peoples-Jones at the 3. Another big play on 3rd down, and this time it goes to DPJ to give us 1st and goal. Looking to capitalize here after the big play, the handoff goes to Charbonnet and there's just no running room whatsoever up the middle, and that's going to set up 2nd and goal. Jackson now under center takes the snap, tosses it back to Charbonnet, and he gets tackled immediately in the backfield, and that sets up 3rd and goal from the 7. We've got to play it somewhat cautious here, and that's exactly what happens with the QB draw, but the Mizzou defense is right there waiting to shut the play down. So we see the field goal unit for the first time today. The kick is up and good, and we take a 31-10 lead here with 3:05 left in the 3rd. So things have been going our way pretty much the entire game, except for the defense giving up a touchdown right there. We take the field up 31-17, and Charbonnet gets stuffed. He's going to end up losing 2 yards on the play, so that brings up 2nd and 12. And Jackson just calls his own number, keeping it on the ground for another huge pickup, and that'll move the chains just shy of midfield. But the drive stalls out a couple plays later, and we're forced to settle for yet another field goal, which should just about put this game out of reach with 4:14 left to go. But our defensive coordinator must have gone really conservative with his play calling, because we've given up 2 straight touchdowns to Mizzou. But we start our next drive at the 32-yard line. We just got to come out and take care of the ball and try to milk as much clock as possible, as Mizzou just called a timeout there to stop the clock. Jackson then hands it right back to Charbonnet, and he picks up the 1st down and a couple of yards on top of that. Mizzou burns their 2nd timeout, and we've got a 1st and 10 from the 20. And in a bit of a surprising call here, Michigan sends Jackson out in an empty set, and he's looking to pass, and he completes it to Black for about a 6 or 7 yard pickup. Mizzou now has no timeouts. Moving ahead a couple plays to 3rd and 5, Jackson is dialed in and connects with his tight end down the seam, and that should do it. But not yet. The offense stays on the field here on 3rd and goal, the clock winding down. Jackson hits DPJ for another touchdown, and ladies and gentlemen, the 40 burger has just been served. So there you have it. That boy Marquese Jackson did his thing today. Look at that. 396 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, and he completed 82% of his passes for the day. That's just unreal. Now, I am using a custom slider set that I found online somewhere for this NCAA mod. I may switch it up for the next game, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just keep this exact same set and give it one more shot and see how it plays out. But anyways, that's all the time I've got for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. But until the next time, have faith, be humble, and stay inspired.